Well, hello and welcome back. I know this might be a little confusing. It's my May 14th recap that I'm doing today, and it's actually still the 13th here, but I took some trades tonight. Actually, I took one trade, but it went my way. Hit target for 250, and I will not be trading tomorrow. And then coming on here to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable. I do have the urge to trade again. But I have to also keep in mind that when you are working with a funded account, you have to, excuse me, you have to limit the amount of profit you take as well in a day. I think I could take up to 400 comfortably in a day and still be fine. But 250 is good. That's a good day. It equals out a full red day. It balances that out. So I'm going to take that as a win. We're going to look at the trade. I actually took two trades, but I did a little mistake. I accidentally had the sim account still up, and it's from earlier today. You know how um, when we were going over the different trades, and I was showing you what was going on with my sim trade or my trade in the beginning of the day. When I put in a trade, I put it to sim. Well, I accidentally left it in sim mode. And so I took a trade and it went my way and I made 45 bucks. I'll show you guys it. And, but it was in sim mode. So it didn't count. It didn't fill. And that's too bad because then I'd be up to 95 right now. But at any rate, let's take a look at the trades I took and just to recap and we'll talk about the reason I took it. Here we are. Here's our profit with this day. This is for the 14th. $250 again today. So we're up to 25,488 on our funded account. That's looking real good. We just got to keep doing these green days just like this, nice and easy pace. Got to trade a total of 4 days, or 8 days anyway, to get funded or to get our money out. So I plan to just keep trading like I've been trading and just keep doing it nice and easy day in and day out. I'm not gonna, you know. But anyway, let's take a look at the trades. What I'm first gonna do is I'm gonna go back to my sim account and then we will pop over here and you should show up. I'm hoping it shows up. There we go. So here's my first trade I took, and then we'll see what happened here. So we've got a breakout and then we came down and we kind of consolidated, but we consolidated above, and so above the previous high. And so to me, that's a good indication that we're going to go higher. And sure enough, we go higher. So we come up here and then we get a pullback. We get pulled back. We get a nice space here, pull back into the gold line. So I'm looking for it to retrace. We get a little push there. And what I did is I was like, okay, I want to like look at what this would be. And I'm kind of looking at it like that. And I decided to, once this guy passed, and you can see it kind of ticked a little bit higher. This red bar is a little higher than the green. I was like, okay, that's an indication to me that we're going to go up. So I kind of dropped this guy in here. So the price was kind of jumping around right here, up and down. And then I went ahead and I put a buy order right down here and figured this should be enough space to get to my target. If it comes and takes me in, it came down, took me in, and it started hemming and hawing around like this. And it worked its way up, and I just grabbed my stop, and I moved it up to try and capture some of the move. And I'll do that sometimes, especially at night when the market's not moving very fast, or I'm feeling not super confident with the trade. I didn't like how it rejected so quickly here. So for me, if I was like, I can't be sure it's going to go up higher than this, and it kind of was hesitating. So I moved my stop and it took me out, as you can see. That was a good stop. That was a good, that was good on my part. That's reading the market well. It didn't have the gumption there, and so it would have taken it out for a loss. But this is a $45 trade, but it was on my sim account. So we'll go back to my funded account. You can see there's no trade there. So I didn't get that trade. And that was a little frustrating, but I was kind of, then I was starting to think, you know what? Maybe I just don't mess around with this nighttime trading. Um, and I was doing other things around the house, wasn't really paying attention to the market. And I came back a little later and I saw that it was doing this. And we had this great big push. Matter of fact, I was here right here. It was, I was watching it do this, and I'm thinking, okay, we got a kind of a ranging pattern, got this kind of move. It's probably just going to hit here and then go back up. And this one ticked down below this previous low, but I was like, yeah, that could still just bounce back up. And I'm just reading the market as it's going. I'm not thinking this is a trade opportunity. That's not what I was thinking. I was just kind of watching the market. Well, then it does this. And I was watching it and it kind of hesitated here and then it just shot down. And I was like, whoa, was that news? I mean, what was that? It was 620. And then it started hemming and hawing here, and I'm like, whoa, 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 guys. This is a trade opportunity. All right, hold on. And I saw it do this, and I'm like, okay, well, let me get in at a reasonable spot. So I kind of put my trade position there because I didn't know what was going to happen. It did pop up above, but it came back down, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in a safer zone. So I moved my entry. I think I got it in, oh, even a little higher now. I got it in right there, and you can see it came down and ticked me in, and then shot. Went straight up, hit my target, 250 bucks, and I just went, oh, okay. And when it went up, I grabbed my stop and I dropped it in at my stop loss, and it shot. Oh, so why did I take this trade? Look what it did here, guys. It came down and it pierced the red line, and it has not been messing with this red line in a long time. And the last time it did, it respected it. It did go on the other side, but you can see the red line held. To me, when it goes on the other side and immediately rejects, and you don't get a lot of, like, if it had stayed on this side of that support and him and hawed, you would expect a rejection. Or if it just blew right through it and did stuff down here. But to me, this is still respecting that red line. Now, I wouldn't take a trade off this because I don't like it when a candle stops and starts completely on the other side of the line. To me, that's an indication it could keep going the other way. But when it came down here, shot through here, and look at this big tail, to me, that's telltale. That's like, yeah, that's a big rejection. That is just, that red line is holding. There's a lot of buyers here waiting, and bam, shot it up. So that was my entry. I could have entered here, but see, if I had entered just above this red candle, it would have taken me out because it went all the way back down here, guys. So it's best to, when, especially when you get these big movement candles, I like to hedge my bets a little bit and enter just south of it and let it come down and take me in. So that just, it just weighs it in our favor a little better to get my full target amount before it takes me out, because my stop loss is about equal to this green. So my stop loss was right in here. And if I had entered here, you can see potentially that came down and hit my stop loss. I don't know for sure. I can't remember if it did or not. But anyway, I digress. But that's it for tonight. I am not going to trade tomorrow. That is what I'm telling you. I am not going to trade tomorrow. I'm not going to open the market tomorrow. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm going to take my 250 for Thursday, and I'm going to call it a good Thursday. So we're up 500 this week. well, 480 technically, so 485, 488 or something. 488. And I'm going to be happy with that. And then we're going to try again on Friday and see if we can get one more green day to finish the week off. Maybe we can end up, another $100. I'd be totally thrilled. And we're going to be cruising right along, heading into next week. And we got to get a total of 8 trades. And I'm going to do a little research and make sure I know exactly when I can apply for my first payout. Uh, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but had a couple of good days, and we want to just keep the momentum going, guys. All right, thanks for coming, and I will catch you guys in the next one.